everyone, my name is Jenna, but you guys could call me Jen. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Hi, hello. I'm just about to run out of the house. It's Friday. Happy Friday. Ran out of the house, aka leave my apartment. Because I have a pre-order waiting for me at my local indie bookstore. I have a print waiting for me at Staples, hopefully. And also, I say hopefully because I picked up an order from Staples the other day and it was a whole kerfuffle. I was supposed to also get this second order that day, but I went in like twice and they didn't give me the right order and I was stressed. So I'm going back today. Hopefully they have it. I also need to go to the library as well. So we're going because there's a lot of books waiting for me there. I got to return these three. Yeah, these three. And we're just going to have a good weekend. It's going to be a good time. When I get home, I'll let you know what I've been reading, what's going to be up for the weekend. And yeah, it's hot as hell outside today, my friends. So it's going to be an interesting one. I also am second guessing this dress because it is going to be so hot because this is linen. But I guess linen is supposed to be okay. It's supposed to be okay. It'll be a good test. It'll be a good test to see if I can wear this in like really hot heat. But it's a cute dress. It's lovely. My friend altered the top for me because I bought a size that was too small in the top and it didn't fit me right. And then I bought the next size up and it fit me right everywhere else except for the shoulder. So I was like, well, I'll just have my friend alter it for me. And she did amazing. And she brought it yesterday because yesterday we had a pool day. Fun times. Anyways, welcome to the vlog. Let's go do some errands. Apologies for my air in the background, but I just have to show you. I went to Staples the other day and this was not ready, even though I got an email saying it was ready. So it was a big kerfuffle, but oh my God, look at her. So this is the commission that I got done that I won through the Gaza auction. This is one of the commissions that I got done through the Book Binds for Gaza auction. I am so obsessed with this. You guys have no fucking idea. But yeah, I was waiting in line for so long for the girl to be like, we don't have it. So she was like, okay, how do you want it printed? And I was like, I don't know, like real size? And I was like, yeah. And then she goes, fit to page? And I was like, and she was like, I'll just do both. You've been waiting forever. And I was like, thank you. So I got a little one and a big one. I am so obsessed. Now I need to get a frame that'll fit this because I don't know. I don't know the dimensions. I'll have to go look at the dimensions that I ordered, but look how beautiful. I'm so obsessed. Watch me frame both of these and just put both of these up in my apartment because they're so beautiful. Also, consensus on the heat with this dress. Shit's hot. I need a different dress. This is very, very warm. This linen. Oh, what is happening? Something is hooked. I'm gonna get a cooler dress on because I gotta go back out anyways. Because even though, yes, I just broke my book buying ban that I was on until my birthday, that's okay. We're just gonna go right back on it. No one's the wiser. It's fine. I'm also picking up another special edition tonight because I saw it on Facebook Marketplace for $20 for a hardcover in Canada, unheard of. So I am excited. And it's The Principal Moments, which is a book that's only published in the UK right now. So I'm excited to get my hands on it because it's an Illumicrate version too. Anyways, I can get this on. Get this heat trapping dress off. And now we get the special edition time. Let's go. goods. It's so pretty. It matches my dress too. Okay, friends, we're home for good now. It is too fucking hot outside to be doing anything but sitting here just in mostly darkness. It doesn't look that dark, but like my place is like shuttered because it's hot as fuck outside. Anyways, I thought let's do a library haul and then we'll do a haul of the books that I bought today. So library haul, I picked up Leech by Hiron Ennis, horror book that I've been intrigued by. I also have Blood Debts by Terry J. Benton Walker. It's a book that I've seen on TikTok recommended a lot. It is YA, so I have very low expectations, as you guys know, but it's a potential to pick up and read at some point. The reason why I have so many books from this library haul is because I forgot to reschedule some till later in July, maybe even August, because as you guys know, my July TBR is so stacked right now. I don't have time for any of these, but I have so many of them. We also have Earth Flown, which is I think it's an indie book, potentially. I don't know. I thought it was. It might be. But it is like a illustrated sci-fi book about a love story, I think. I've heard mixed things, but I'm intrigued to give it a try because it's illustrated on the inside. We also have Our Share of Night, by Mariana Enriquez, which is a book that is a lot chunkier than I thought it was going to be. And it's a book that I picked up that I was recommended, quote unquote, I found through the Diverse Baseline Storygraph Challenge that I joined at the beginning of the year. This was one of the ones that was like part of some of the prompts that I was like scrolling through to find book recommendations. This is one of them. I don't remember what prompt this one fulfills, but it fulfills something and it's very chunky. So who's to say I'll even get to it? I have it. And then I have two Riley Sager's, Final Girls and Survive the Night. These are the two Riley Sagers that I have not yet read. So I have them. And what I love about summer is reading thrillers in the summer. For some reason, it just hits different when you're reading thrillers in the summer. So I got these two if I have the hankering for a Riley Sager. And last from the library, we got Feybound as well by Sarah El Arifi. I didn't love The Final Strife by Sarah El Arifi. It just didn't really work for me as a book. It was like fine. I don't remember what I rated it, but it was just fine for me. Like it didn't capture me at any moments. I was just kind of bored throughout the whole thing. So we'll see if this one works for me. I don't have high hopes though, because I've heard very mixed things. I have it if I want to try it. So that's what matters. Yeah, so adding another 7 books to my library stack, which is already 6 books tall. So we have too many books. That is the consensus. I hope I will get to some of them at some point. Hopefully I can just keep them till my July TBR is done. Anyways, let's look at the books that I bought today. The special edition that I was going for was, oh, I like that this is just, there we go, was The Principle of Moments by Jiki Pearson. I don't know how to actually say her name, I'm so sorry, but it's just so beautiful. And I picked this up because once I saw it for $20, you cannot get hardcovers, regular hardcovers for $20 in Canada. That is just not a thing. They are upwards of $40 now. So when I saw it on Facebook Marketplace for $20, and the fact that it is a book that does not have a publishing deal in the US or Canada right now, it is only in the UK, and I have been really intrigued by this book. I was like, I gotta. So we'll see if I enjoy it, but I am obsessed with these end pages. Oh, the colors are just so beautiful. And then the back end page, oh, gorge. And then of course the actual hardcover has a quote on it that says, "Courage is the only thing stronger than fear, and love is the thread that holds the atoms of this universe together." I've also heard that this is compared to like Doctor Who. So homegirl Esme was inspired by Doctor Who when she was writing this. I don't know, time travel, we'll see. It's compared to Becky Chambers, V.E. Schwab, and N.K. Jemisin, and whenever you compare a book to like big hitters like that, I don't believe you. I just don't. So, because comps are a lot sometimes, but we'll see. Then I also picked up this cute little hardcover. I did break my bookmark ban. It's okay. We'll just go right back on it until my birthday. It's fine. I just needed a treat. It was okay. So this is the Delicate Dream department store. It is a #1 Korean bestseller and is translated by Sandy Jusung Lee, which is just, it's so beautiful. It's just so pretty. And it's this little cozy fantasy thing. It's like a little cozy book. It's a cozy little book, and I'm excited about it. And it's so sweet looking, and it's little, so I had to. The pre-order that I went for today was The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst, which I love Sarah Beth Durst with my entire soul. I love, love, love the books that I've read of hers. I don't think I've read a book of hers that's like under a 4-star at this point. So I'm so excited for this. And this is just gorgeous, this cover. I am obsessed. I want to live here. Thank you. And it's got purple sprayed edges, which is really cool because I think, I like that publishers are taking a little bit more time to make the books a little bit more beautiful, because if I'm spending $40 on a hardcover, I want it to be beautiful, you know? Because that's $40. That's so much money. That's the pre-order that I picked up today. Cozy Fantasy. Love it so much. And then I also picked up a finished copy of The Sky on Fire by Jen Lyons, because I had the arc and the audio arc from, the e-arc and the audio arc from Neck Alley, and I just loved it so much that I needed a physical copy. So that is what I did. Oh, what a nice yellow. A nice mustard. Very fun. Very fun. Oh, and it is a standalone fantasy. So if you're looking for a good standalone fantasy book, pick this boy up, okay? It's a standalone heist adventure where they go try to steal from a dragon. Listen, it was so good. It was so good. Anyways, that was my day. And I picked up those beautiful prints. I am so tired. It is 8. There's something that the heat just pulls out of you, isn't there? It's wild. Anyways, what am I going to be reading this weekend? That's a great question. I want to get a good chunk done on a lot of my TBR for July. Perfect World, I'll wrap this bad boy up, which is Legacy of Ash. I started that last weekend. I didn't get to reading it at all this week. I barely read anything this week. But I did start The Familiar last night. This is just the dust jacket because it's in my bedroom. And I'm like 60% of the way through this, and it's fine. It's not really doing anything for me. I've been reading a lot of books recently that just aren't doing anything for me. So I desperately need something to hit soon. So we'll see what I end up getting to. But other than that, I would also like to read Pillar of Ash by Hannah Long, which is also on my July TBR. So we'll see if I can get to this one. Hopefully I can wrap The Familiar really soon. I think I have like 2 hours, not even, left on the audiobook. And then I can dive into this and also finish this chunk this weekend. And maybe even start another book. Because there's a couple shorter books on my TBR that I would like to wrap. I leave Wednesday this week coming up for a road trip with my friends. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to read anything on this road trip. I'm going to be bringing some books with me, but like, will I be able to read any of them is the question. And then I want to get them all done so that I can get to the library books that I just named to you. And the 6 that are on my piano at the moment that I have from previous library trips. I'm surrounded by books that I want to be reading. And I'm so excited about it. Like, really, in a perfect world, I would read one of those cozy books today because I'm in the mood for a summery, cozy book. And I think the Spell Shop is gonna give me that. But I fucking don't have room on my TBR. I mean, I could just do it, I guess. I could just give it a try. I just don't have any room on my TBR. It's as comforting as homemade jam on a fresh baked muffin. Excuse me, that sounds amazing. Oh God, I just want to read all these books. The mood reader in me is screaming because she does not want to read any of the books in my actual TBR. But it is that my friends picked my TBR month, so I must. Anyways, they're the ones who picked my TBR, so I must. Anyways, friends, that's the update. I think I'm gonna get just a regular t-shirt on, get out of a dress, and just lounge and scrounge and do nothing. Because I have a little bit of a headache from the heat. Don't love that. I've been drinking so much water today because it just is so hot and I hate it. Man, I really live in a place that does the extremes. We get the most disgusting cold winters, and then we also get the most awful humid summers. And I'm just like, why do we have both ends of the pendulum? Can't we have like more chill weather? But no, we have both ends of the pendulum. Anyways, what a day. What a day. Hello, friends. I was about to say happy Saturday. It is technically happy Saturday, but it's Friday still. It's 2 a.m. We have now entered the limbo hours between the 12th and the 13th of July. Hi, reading news. I finished The Familiar, and it was boring. And then I started Pillar of Ash, and I'm fucking loving it. Okay, I just went on, like, I just talked for 17 minutes to the vlog for my Friends Pick My TBR. I gave updates for everything, and the fact that I finally have a win with this one is so good. Like, I mean, out of all the books that I've read for this particular TBR this month, which is everything except for the first one, which was the Chuck Tingle book, which I finished on the first coming over from the lake. But everything else has been for the My Friends Pick My TBR. And the only book that has done okay is Alatsue. So I've read half of Jonathan Strange and soft DNF'd it. Then I read Alatsue, which was like a breath of fresh air, but I think that's mostly because I was coming off of Jonathan Strange. And I had all my opinions about that. And it was just a nice book, and it was lighthearted, even with the themes it was dealing with. It was just genuinely a nice book, but I haven't like thought about it since. So we picked up Legacy of Ash, which I'm 200 pages in, and I just don't know what's happening, and I couldn't care less about any of the characters. And it's not giving the epic fantasy that I want this to be, because I'm so used to reading of the caliber of like John Gwyn's epic fantasy that is as vastly characterized as this one, but like had me captivated within the first few chapters, right? This one's just not giving that to me, but we'll see what happens when I go back into it. And then of course the familiar, as I just said, boring as fuck, and honestly a failure on Leigh Bardugo's part, because like Girly is so beloved as an author and she writes incredibly compelling narratives, but this one was so boring. Like even her writing wasn't to standard from what I've loved from Ninth House. It gave me nothing. So there's that. So yeah, having this and being so in love with it is exactly what I needed. Like, God, there's something very specific about the tone that Hannah Long's the Four Pillars series, which is Hollow Smoke, Temple of No God, Bear of Winter, and then this one, Pillar of Ash. There's something specific about the tone of these 4 books that just is so comforting and perfect. It's the perfect, like, I'm just going for a walk in Skyrim vibes. But these are not cozy. Like, they are very high stakes books. But like the prose is just so beautiful, and it's so well done. Like, it's not flowery in any way, but it's well done, it's to the point, it's clean, and it's just, it's amazing. And I said it in the other vlog that it may be because I'm listening to the audiobook at the same time, and that narrator is absolutely phenomenal. She has a gorgeous accent, and it just lends so well to the pairing of the prose in Hannah Long's books, because it's been the same narrator for all 4 of these books. Even from like Dark Water Daughter to these, like Dark Water Daughter is different. It's completely like, it's a different storytelling structure, it's different prose, like it's different everything, and it's so good in another way. But these books just feel like what epic fantasy should be. Not like in the vein of like George R.R. Martin or anything like that, but there is like something to say about a slightly simpler epic fantasy when you're following only one POV. It's delightful. Like, I always forget that these are first person. Always. I forget that these are first person, and that I don't care that it's first person because it's so beautiful. I completely forget. Like, if I wasn't immediately reading this and I had been asked, like, what are your favorite third person POV fantasies, I would have held up Hollow Smoke, because in my head that's third person POV, because the way that Hannah writes the prose, you forget it's first person because it's so beautifully done. And it's not I every other sentence like first person usually is. It's gorgeous, okay? Like, I will never stop talking about Hannah Long. And I know I was talking to Julie recently about Hannah Long's books and how much I love them. And she was uneasy or like on the fence about Hannah's books because she'd never read them, but she'd heard so many people with mixed feelings. And I'm like, I have never heard a single person not love her books. And maybe that's because everyone that I interact with online has only read Dark Water Daughter and absolutely loved it. But like, Hannah Long is my girly, and she's one of my favorite authors of all time. And I need everyone to give these books a chance, because Hollow Smoke, I've reread it twice now. And I could go back and reread it again. Like, I was considering doing that before jumping into this one, which is so funny because, like, I want to, because I now know where we are in the story timeline with this. Because in this one, we're following Iska, who is the daughter of Hessa, who is in the first book and in the second book. I mean, she's in all of them. Hessa's in all of them, but she's the main character in the first book. And like in the first book, she's the same age roughly as Iska is in here. And it's so neat to see. And like the magic, and I could talk about these books all day. I love them so deeply. And I think they're also such a beautiful little package of a fantasy book as well, because none of them are over 400, 500 pages long. They're all very like compact, beautifully told stories, and each one of these do stand on their own, even though they're all part of a timeline and have similar characters show up and all that kind of stuff. They do stand on their own. So if like one of them interests you more than the others, go for it, you know? I highly suggest you read the first two in order, but the other two you could do whatever you want with. Like Pillar of Ash and Barrow of Winter, they follow different characters than Temple and Hall of Smoke. So read whatever you like, but oh god, I don't even know what my point was when I went off on that tirade just now. I don't know what I was saying. Just that I love these books so deeply. Oh, I know what I was saying. There we go. They're teeny tiny compact. I think they are perfect also for people who want to get into fantasy. Not from a romance reader side though. If you want to get into fantasy from like a video game player side, or I don't know, just like a genuine interest in having these beautiful worlds described to you. Like maybe you've read a couple fantasy books and one of the things that you love the most of them is being dropped into this beautiful, well-built world, like kind of like you came out of, I don't know, maybe watching the Lord of the Rings movies and you want to read more fantasy books. I wouldn't give this necessarily to a romance reader. I'd give it to anyone else. Because Hannah Long, she's coming out with romance fantasy books. I don't actually think they're romantasy. I just think they're like fantasy books. No, I think her next like series is going to be romantasy, which is really interesting. Because I remember her talking around Hall of Smoke when Hall of Smoke came out. I remember her saying that she was not into like romance in her fantasy books, which makes sense because like the 4 books in this series, they have like relationships and marital stuff, but they don't have like romance. You know, I'm actually not sure about this one. I don't think there's romance in this one because our two characters here, Iska is the main character, and then she's following her twin brother Baron. So like, there's not like a following a man she loves or anything. And there's mention of like relationships and stuff like that in all the books. And in Temple, Hessa is married to a man, but there's no like romance there, you know? And then in Barrow of Winter, again, it's more of just like finding yourself and exploring the northern reaches of the world and discovering more about your siblings and all that kind of stuff in that part of your life when you're half god. And then this one is Iska is following her brother because at the beginning of this, there comes word to the Miri, who are sort of godlike, really powerful beings. They made themselves gods at one point and then were told no by the big gods, essentially. But they're very powerful beings and stuff like that. And Hessa is like in with them because she is also a very powerful being through her adventures. At the beginning of this, they're told that they're not necessarily enemies because it's a time of peace at the beginning of this book, but like some other peoples have found what they've believed to be the edge of the world. And they've looked into this, it's called something very specific, into the unmade. So in their world, there is the made world, and then there is the unmade world, and people are saying like these godlike beings are saying like there's nothing and can be nothing in the unmade. It's unmade. And these people are saying that they've looked into the unmade and seen things. And then Baron, her brother, Iska's brother, wants to go east and wants to go look into the unmade. He wants to go see these people who worship the Great Bear and like live under this tree or like worship this tree or whatever. And she is perfectly happy in her little cottage, unmarried, having the greatest time with her bees. Like she's having a great time. And she's like, you motherfucker. Because she's been raised essentially by one of these Miri to not raised, sorry, she's been taught for like her entire childhood since she was 9 years old on the healing arts and stuff like that in this like in-between world. And she's quite powerful in her knowledge, and then she becomes more powerful in this book. It's very cool. I love what's happening so far. Her brother asks her to come along with him on this journey, and she's like, well, I don't want to, but I fucking can't say no because you're gonna die if I don't come. She's along for the ride. All the other warriors don't really want her there because they view her as this like, I mean, they want her there because of what she can do, but a lot of them don't like her because she's viewed as this soft person. She has no hard lines. She's not a fighter. She does not want to fight. She does not want to be that person. She wants to heal. She wants to help people. And so like she has to prove herself to all these warriors. I'm enjoying it very much. And they've walked into this weird part of this world where she just saw a deer eat a rabbit. And the way that that scene was described, I was genuinely like, I sat up a little straighter and I was like, what the fuck? So like they're in an area that like the rules don't apply. And I'm very interested to see where we go from here because I'm not even halfway through. I'm like 40% of the way through or 45% of the way through. So I'm excited to see where this goes. I'm so happy that this is going so well. I'm loving it. Oh, I just love being in Hannah's worlds. I am also this close to starting the spell shop tomorrow and like just adding another book to my TBR because I want to read that book so bad. So we'll see what happens when I finish Pillar of Ash, whether I decide to go into Legacy of Ash and try carve this out tomorrow. But other than that, I have nothing going on tomorrow. So who's to say what ends up happening? I should give you an update before I close out this long clip. I ended up sending my book to my friend, Yeleni. I sent Marion Bright to my friend Yeleni, who agreed to edit Marion Bright, which is very exciting. I'm so excited that she's got it in her hands now. I did end up going to print it at my parents' house on Thursday, which it is very tiny. It is double-sided though, so that's probably why. I printed it. It ended up being 61 pages printed in like a PDF form. And I was going to go through it and edit it myself before handing it to Yeleni. And then suddenly it was Wednesday night and I just kept doing other things. Like I cleaned my place. I kept doing other things. And I was like, you know what? We're just going to hand it to her. And when I get her notes back, I will edit it physically on there with the notes, whatever else, my own ideas and my own edits and stuff like that. Hopefully she gets it back to me before August. I've asked for it back by the latest of August. And it is not a very long thing. Like, as I said, it's like 60 pages. So hopefully it gets back to me quickly so that I have enough time in August to really shape it up to something that I love. But I give you that writing. Wow, my brain is everywhere today. I give you that writing update because I don't have anything else on the go at the moment. I could pick up Air Mountain Book 3 again. I should pick up Air Mountain Book 3 again because I want that one done mid-August as well. The draft 2. So maybe that one, if I get the hankering for some creativity writing wise, but other than that, I don't have any plans at all. So love that for me. I'm gonna probably be hiding from the heat tomorrow because it's gonna be like 34 again tomorrow in time, and I don't like that. I'm gonna go to bed. I'll chat to you guys tomorrow. In a fun twist of events, because it is so fucking hot today and so humid, not because of that, but it's a fun twist of events because it is so humid and hot, and I apologize for my air. But I'm gonna go get my broken winter boot fixed because I could not zip this up for the last month of winter because the zipper broke. But on this really fucking hot day, we're gonna go get a winter boot fixed. Hello, friends. I'm back home looking distinctly more sweaty than I did when I left. Oh God. Boots are being fixed in a week. Boot, I guess, is one singular boot. And it's $40, which is much better than buying a new pair of boots, especially because these boots are still in really good condition. It was just the zipper that broke. Anyways, I got some stickers in the mail, which are very cute. Look at them. They're little watermelons and little rainbows. So I had to. And I also got this one, which says Cozy Reads on it. So, you know what that means. It's time for an update. We're gonna do puzzle. This adorable little dog puzzle I got on Tuesday. Simply because of this guy. Right there. That motherfucker. Isn't he so fucking cute? He's such an angry pineapple. I'm gonna do some reading. But also, I did my Kobo case. Every time I move it, these little guys in here just like float. So I had to put a page back there and it still floats, but better than before. I had to also take out my Bjorny sticker, which I'm really sad about because it doesn't fit with the vibe, unfortunately. Bjorny, my beloved. This is from Relics of Ruins pre-order pack. Love that sticker with my entire soul. But yeah, this is what we got. And this is the book on it, which is one of my friend's pick my TBR books that I'm going to take with me to Moose Jaw when I go on Wednesday. the pineapple pile. I look like a mess. It just, as the day keeps going, the worse I'm looking, which is fine. That's just kind of what happens when it's humid and hot. At least it's not sunny anymore. It's a little overcast, so maybe we're gonna get some rain. I don't know. But I wanted to say a couple updates. One, puzzle is puzzling. I've done most of the pineapple dog. He's the cutest. I've been like saving it because I didn't want to do it right away because it's the most exciting part. It's the most exciting part. I'm loving this puzzle though. Whatever this puzzle company is, this is the second one I've gotten from them. It's 500 pieces, which is the perfect puzzle. Is Gallison. It's the perfect puzzle size. And what did I do with my other puzzle? I think I popped it in here. No, it's still here. I did this one the day of the bookshop day, indie bookshop day. Gallison. These puzzles are fucking amazing and they're the perfect size for a day of puzzling and I am fully thriving. This iconic, and they're great puzzles to do because like even if it's like background, it's not solid illustration. It's pattern, so you can still put it together rather easily instead of just like trying every other fucking shape to see if it fits. Anyways, I'm happy about that. Second update, I'm selling The Familiar. I finished it yesterday and I was like, we're putting this on Facebook Marketplace. I've already sold 2 of the books today. I've made $30 today. No, I sold 3 books today. Yeah, that's right. Two came in a bundle of $10 because they were both paperbacks. And then I sold 5 Broken Blades. That one's finally out of my place. And I'm also selling The Familiar today. They're coming later to pick it up, which exciting. So that means I'm gonna have made like $50 on books today. We love to see it. Truly. Especially because I put both 5 Broken Blades and The Familiar up for $20 a piece. Because I was like, I could just do $10 for these, but I kind of want more of my money back because I'm so disappointed in both of them. So we're gonna put 20 because they're also both like sprayed edges and they're pretty. Exceptional on my part. Third thing, I just finished reading Pillar of Ash. And guys, this book, okay? This is not the book. This is the book I'm gonna read next. Everything I wanted. It gave me the same feelings that reading Hall of Smoke gave me. It had such a beautiful wrap up to the end. It was so epic. And I think this is just a perfect snapshot, delicious bite of what Hannah could do as an author. Like her fight scenes and like the culmination of this ending were so well done. And just there's something awe-filled or awesome. Not in like, oh my god, it's awesome, but like in like the genuine sense of awe you feel when you like look at mountains. Like there's something about that in her writing when she's writing these big massive moments when the gods are coming in. And there's a god bear in here named Aeger and he is the coolest thing I've ever come across. Like he just lumbers in and fucks shit up at the end. I love him so deeply. And there's like genuine love in this. Honestly, if you want something for love and I would pick this book up if you want like a love romantic plotline, because there is some of that in here. And I got really excited when we got there because it's done so well. How beautiful, how lovely. 10 out of 10. I adored this. I sobbed at the end. It was so beautiful. Like the cyclical moment of it all was exceptional. Mwah! Chef's kiss. Gorgeous. I'm so happy that this one went so well. This has been such a wonderful, wonderful day of reading and puzzling. And I just got a message from the person that they're coming to pick it up now, the book, The Familiar. So I'm gonna go do that. But I'll update you in a second about what I'm gonna read next. Sorry about Jack in the background, but I have read a little bit more of Legacy of Ash today. Fuck if I'm so bored of that book. So we are gonna dive in to something not on the TBR. Just for tonight, we're gonna spice it up. I think, oh, I don't know. I'm going to take a couple and we're going to see, but Legacy of Ash is so boring. I hate it. I'm not enjoying my time. I would DNF it, but I've already DNF'd a tome. I can't DNF another one because people are just going to think I'm pussying out. I'm not. They're straight up not good books, but like, hello friends, happy Sunday. I am here with a reading update. All right, so yesterday, after coming to the conclusion that I didn't like the Legacy of Ash, I have also officially DNF'd it for my video, by the way. I was like, I just want a break. I want a break from my July TBR. So I'm gonna dive into that epic library stack there. I'm gonna pick 2 books, I'm gonna sample, I'm gonna dabble, and we're gonna see what happens. And it was a really stupid idea because both of these were not good. I read 20 pages of A River of Golden Bones by A.K. Mulford, and I've just solidified that I don't think A.K. Mulford's fantasy is for me. I've tried A.K. Mulford's first book in their like romantasy series. It really didn't work for me. It just like it didn't capture me in any way. And then I read like 20 pages of this and it immediately made me go, oh wow, I really do not like fairy tale retellings. I really do not like werewolves. And this feels like a YA romantasy and this is high adult fantasy. And I DNF'd it. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna try Bonesmith. And last night I got like halfway through Bonesmith. I wasn't fully paying attention to it because I was also watching Jacksepticeye on YouTube playing through The Quarry because I found a massive like 8-hour long video of someone who had put his entire like the whole thing all together in one video. Watching video games like The Quarry is so fun for me because it's an actual like story, so I'm like really interested in it even though I've seen The Quarry before. But it's different because you can play through it differently and you can kill different characters and stuff like that. Like you not actually, but like you can accidentally have some characters die and whatever. Anyway, so I wasn't paying attention to the first half, but I was like, okay, it's not that bad. I skim read the rest of it today. It's not good either, okay? It's like, there are some merits to it in some ways, but there's some chapters in here where the POV is messy. It's 2 people, which is not what it's supposed to be. Like, I understand if this was supposed to be omniscient, like The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo, that was omniscient. So you're bouncing into many people's heads in a chapter. This is third person limited, which is one of my favorite narration styles. Fun fact. But in some chapters, it's not. It's edited wrong. They didn't catch these errors because sometimes the narration slips into the other person's head. It's a Ren POV, but it slips into Julian's head at some point and gives his like opinions about stuff. And I'm like, that's wrong. That's not supposed to be there. So it took me right out of the story. And then like on page like 260 something, we get Julian's first POV, which, okay. This one really bothered me in 2 ways because Ren's POV is the majority POV, which is totally fine. But like a really good chunk of the way into the book, we get a second POV. Only when the prince is kidnapped, we get the prince's POV. Because that's the whole thing of this, is that a prince gets kidnapped and Ren has to find the prince while also teaming up with one of the people who was trying to kidnap the prince. And so we get a really late introduction to the prince's POV and I was like, all right, I don't love that. I love when all the POVs are set up on time and early enough in the narrative. It's also something that I found kind of wrong with Blood Over Braidhaven by Emma Wong as well. It had a really, really late POV introduction as well that I was just like, no, it would have been stronger if you had introduced this right off the top. Like, give us this person's story from the beginning, not just when it's convenient for the narrative, you know? So that was a thing. But then we get Julian's, the guy who's with Ren, really late in the story, and it's just to see him like obsessing over her. It was so predictable. It was not well done, but there's like redeeming elements. Like, I understand why people really like this so much, but what this book did for me is just solidify why I don't like a lot of YA anymore, because it just, YA books today fall so heavily into tropes. The masses not all of them, but a lot of them, the majority of the YA books fall into the tropes. And I think that the bookish internet and book talk specifically are kind of at fault for that, and also the publishing industry and like what's become popularized with YA and also like romantasy and stuff like that. Like the trope heavy, and I fall into this too. I've got tropes. I use tropes to sometimes market my books, even though I find it really hard to boil my books down to just tropes and be like, I don't know actually what tropes are in here at all. But I like the trope heavy marketing of books, like when you're telling somebody like, oh, this book is enemies to lovers, necromancy, someone gets kidnapped, etc., etc. Like if you're just boiling it down to the tropes, it doesn't really even tell you what the book is about. But because we are so heavily doing that in book marketing now, books are leaning more into these tropes so they are more easily marketable. Right? I think with YA especially, because it's such a saturated market and because it's such a, I don't know, like just even thinking back from when I was a kid and when I was reading all the YA books in my library, seeing what was popular then and then seeing how it has changed since I was in high school to now. I'm 26 years old, I'm turning 27 this year. So seeing how YA has changed and how much it has exploded in the past couple years, especially with the introduction of book talk, I have found that YA has become formulaic. Formulaic in the way of that it hits the tropes and it's boring. Like, it's just like, it's nothing special anymore. Why a lot of YA books just don't hit. They're all very mid. And that is what has really hit with my, over the past decade of my life, of my falling out of love with YA fantasy. I have completely fallen out of YA fantasy. There are a couple books that have hit and that will continue to hit, like Legendborn by Tracy Deonn is a fucking banger. I really enjoyed Ray Bear when I read it many years ago, but I don't know if they would still hit today. Kind of a thing. I am planning on rereading Ray Bear to finish that duology at some point this year, but so we'll find out about that one if that one holds up. But there are some YA books that hit and that work really well because they either don't fall into these really big tropes or they subvert the tropes in an interesting way and they're just really well told. But the mass majority of YA books for me hit this middle of the road range where nothing interesting is happening because I know the tropes, I know what's gonna happen, and because you're giving me these tropes, I know what's gonna happen. Like, you're giving me a enemies to lovers storyline in here, I know they're gonna fall in love with each other, and I know it's gonna be like insta-lovey, and it was, like, they were like, she's like, oh my god, he loves me, and I'm like, bitch, it's been a week that you've been together, calm down, and like all this kind of stuff where like there was a surprise family member, and I was just like, I can see it coming and it's boring and so this was not a fun time. I finished that today. So other than Pillar of Ash, which was chef's kiss, my reading this weekend has been absolute dog shit. So we're going back to the July TBR and we're gonna try this novella, which is on the July TBR. I'm thinking maybe I just need a genre change. This is sci-fi. This is a sci-fi novella, so it's hopefully gonna be quick and snappy. If this doesn't work, I don't know what the fuck will. So I have been like staring longingly at the spell shop. I even took it off of the pile that I have of the books that I bought the other day and put it next to me on the couch because I'm like, I really want to read this, but now I'm really worried that I'm in a mood that's gonna wreck it for me. So we're gonna try The City Inside. We're gonna get back on the July TBR train. I've also decided to add a book to my July TBR because I've DNF'd 2 books for that video. I'm adding this into that video because of my 12 recs from friends list in my bullet journal. This is on it. It's right here, Paladin's Grace. So I'm adding this into that video. I don't think I'm gonna read it this weekend, but it's on my list to read now for this video. We're just adding in another book because I've DNF'd the 2 of the thickest books for this TBR. And I have very middling expectations for the rest of this TBR because there's not, I mean, like, I expect I'm going to enjoy Inheritance by Christopher Paolini because it's the final book in that series and I've really loved the other books in that series, or at least really enjoyed them. I have high hopes for A Lady for a Duke by Alexis Hall, because I also have it on my Kobo because I'm going to be taking it with me to Moose Jaw when I go this week for the road trip that I'm going on with my friends. I'm putting it on there. And I'm going to see if I can find any of the other books. I'm starting to lose my voice. I'm going to see if I can find any of the other books to put on my TBR or on my Kobo so that I can bring it with me on the road trip without having to bring physical books with me. Not that I'm gonna have time to read anything, but we'll see. I'm cautiously optimistic about the rest of the books in this TBR. Cautiously. I don't think, now I have zero hopes for Name of the Wind, because if this epic fantasy didn't work for me, have I got any hope for the other epic fantasy on there? Even though epic fantasy is my favorite, because the person who picked it, Samuel, who's my friend's boyfriend, he picked it for me. He's also a friend, but like, friend's boyfriend, Samuel, also a friend of mine. He picked it for me because he thinks I'm gonna hate it. So, let's see how that one works. Anyways, that's the reading update. I'm going to be going to my parents in literally no time at all. I just have to fix my hair because it's been in clips because I just washed it today. That's the reading update, friends. What a shit show this weekend has been. DNF'd 2 books, officially DNF'd Jonathan Strange as well. Fun fact, that one's officially being DNF'd. Yeah. I think I'm already planning my August TBR in my head because it involves all the books that I really want to be reading right now. And I'm so excited to get into my August TBR. And I think that's also changing my like reading experience right now a little bit, because as a mood reader, I don't know if you guys like, if you feel this as well, if you are a mood reader, but like when you have a TBR, even if it's very diverse and very large like mine is right now, when you really want to read a book that is not on that TBR, everything pales in comparison to the book you really want to read. And I really want to reread Darkwater Daughter and then dive into the sequel Black Tide Sun, which just came out, which is by Hannah Long. I'm desperate for it. I really am, but we got to finish this TBR first, and then August is when I'll be doing that. So I'm just planning my August TBR. Anyways, friends, that's the reading update. Happy Sunday. At least we had one banger this weekend. Pillar of Ash was the banger. What's in the bag? What's in the bag? What's in there? What's in there? Yeah. You're unpacking it for me. It's so nice of you. Beautiful friends, happy Monday. It is officially coming to the end of this vlog. How are y'all doing? I hope you enjoyed. I am here. I just finished editing up until this point in the vlog, so I figured I should come in and say hello because I didn't update you yesterday. After doing all that kind of stuff, I also did my nails. So I got home from mom and dad's. And I decided, as I was sitting here, it was like 10 o'clock at night, and I was like, I'm annoyed with my nails. I was like, and I also don't know how to get gel nail polish off, so I'm gonna figure that out at 10 o'clock at night and do my nails. And so as soon as I like got into the process of doing my nails, I was stuck in the process of doing my nails until like 12:30 in the morning, because not only did I have to figure out how to take off the nail polish, I ran out of acetone nail polish remover, which didn't really do anything to the gel nail polish. So I think I need to actually get like a specific like gel nail polish remover off of like Amazon or something. It did that thing where you like soak your fingers in acetone, like nail polish, 100% acetone remover, nail polish remover. I did that like tinfoil thing that you see all the time. And it was like, I waited for like 10-15 minutes, and then I like started to try to take it off, and it just didn't, like it did lift something. And then I ended up just like filing it off with one of my files, which is probably not good for my nails. So that's fine. You can't see it anymore because they're covered. And then I decided to do a little fun flower thing. I don't know if this is gonna work. I'm gonna have to show you in the light. There we go. So it's kind of hard to see, but these two here are like a pinky, it's coming through really orange, like a nude undercolor, and then like pinky with like a jelly nail polish. It's like a jelly effect. It's really hard to see in like unnatural light, but I like them. They kind of turned out nice. And then I did flowers as like little accents, and I pulled the pink underbase from this to do the flowers on this nail and then the blue on these. So, you know, that is what I did. And I decided to do that instead of read last night because I was tired of reading disappointing books. So just decided I was done, I guess. I was done reading for the weekend. I got like one chapter into the Samit Basu novella, The City Inside, which got into it at grocery store. I was listening to it. I got it on Spotify on their like audiobook options. So I'm literally like one chapter in, and I do plan on reading a little bit of it tonight just so I can get into it and then hopefully finishing it tomorrow so I don't have to worry about it when I go on my road trip. We're gonna see. But yeah, we're gonna see how that one goes. It's been a standard bog standard Monday, my friends. Nothing has been crazy. There's no updates on anything. What did I do this weekend? Rated 2 books, 2 stars, DNF'd 3 books, and then had a 5-star. That's what I did this weekend. And then I sold one of the books that I rated 2 stars, and then I sold a previous DNF. I made $50 this weekend on books. What a good time, truly. But yeah, so out of everything that I read this weekend, we started with finishing up The Familiar, which I gave 2 stars, and then sold it for $20. Iconic of me, really. Read all of Pillar of Ash, gave that one 5 stars, and then I decided to officially DNF The Legacy of Ash, and also Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, and I made it 322 pages into The Legacy of Ash, not quite halfway, but almost, and then 500 and some pages into Jonathan Strange, just over halfway. And then I tried to read A River of Golden Bones, DNF'd at 20 pages in, and then read The Bonesmith and didn't have a good time and also rated that one 2 stars. So I'm at my tether, I think, with all the books that I've been reading recently. And I'm really hoping that some of the books that I read kind of turn things around. I think what's also not helping is that, as I explained in one of my previous clips, as a mood reader, because I want to be reading specific books right now, none of the books on my TBR are like scratching that itch. And I don't want to read any of them. Not that I don't want to read them like at all, but just right now, in this moment, I don't want to read any of them. I want to be reading Spell Shop. I want to be reading Darkwater Daughter. I want to dive into the Delegate Dream department store, which I just picked up. I fucking, there's so many different things that I want to be doing and so many different books that I want to be reading, but I'm kind of doing this challenge. There's always a challenge properly for me because that's like locking myself in a TBR for the month because it's always picking enough books that it like fills the TBR. So we'll see how that goes. I have 7 more books to go. 2 of them are over 800 pages long, and it is July 15th today. So I have half of July left. Hopefully I can keep a momentum going and keep reading lots of good books for the rest of July. I also have not touched Airmount Book 3. I need to do that because my self-imposed deadline of being done draft 2 is August 15th, so I need to get that ball rolling again. There's just so many little things, So many little things. But anyways, friends, I mean, it was a good weekend overall. I ended up doing a puzzle on Saturday and listening to Pillar of Ash, which was the highlight of my weekend. Highly, highly love that. This lighting is just absolutely atrocious. I do apologize. That's a little better. Anyways, friends, what a weekend. Had a library haul, had a book haul too, broke my book buying ban, only to go right back on it. We're good. Everything is golden, I guess. We're just gonna keep going, keep thriving, keep doing things. But yeah, so I might not have a video go up this Friday because if I do, I need to film it tomorrow and edit it and get it ready because I'm not home Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. So if there isn't going to be a video this Friday, I will let you guys know, but hopefully I can figure something out tomorrow and do it, but who's to say? Who's to say? I gotta get my ducks in a row. But yes, my friends, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching me go through DNF City Part 2. And then 2 stars, 2 stars, and then a 5-star. I'm glad that we at least had the 5-star because Pillar of Ash was phenomenal. I'll catch up with you guys in another video very soon. Stay kind and keep on reading.